Okay, hey everybody. This is my monthly budget in my Excel spreadsheet. And what I have here, I'm just showing you, this is the first part of the month for November, and down here is the second part of the month, but this was actually for the end of October. Just how I started, when I started budgeting, I started at the end of the month, and so that's just kind of how I have it so far. I haven't changed it to where the whole spreadsheet here is only for 1 month. I probably need to do that. But I'm going to show you how I have it set up and how I kind of divvy out everything. So I have it labeled up here, first of the month. I have my husband's paycheck and my paycheck. And I have both our check dates, which I'm always paid on the 15th and 30th, but his fluctuates because his is bi-weekly, so it's every 2 weeks. So I have his income, mine, and then I have the total here. And mine is a little less right here, and for down here for the end of October, because for this one up here, it is because I'm on a fall break right now, which is the end of October, and so I won't be working at all this week. And then down here, I had a couple vacation days when I left for our anniversary vacation. So that happens. It happens more for the school breaks. Since I work at the college, I have the days off for things like Thanksgiving and Christmas, but instead of just having those days off, I have the whole breaks off that the students get. So that would be a week at Thanksgiving, almost 3 weeks at Christmas, spring break, and the summers off. So that does fluctuate. And for that reason, rolling into the household budget or household bills that I have here, our rent is more than $300 a month. It's actually $865, but we pay about 6 months of rent with our tax refund money, and then throughout the rest of the year, we save a portion of it kind of with each paycheck, so we never have to pay $865 up front at the beginning of the month. So for rent for November, we only have to pull $300 out from this combined income here. Then I have our Apple iCloud account, which is 99 cents. Charter, which is our cable and internet, for $139. Weight Watchers, $19.99 a month. Gas, I have budgeted for $40. I haven't seen that bill yet, but it's usually about that amount. Our electric and water bill I have both already gotten, and so I have updated that. Also, I have already gotten our charter bill. That's why it's $139. I normally budget $165 for that, but it was only $138 and change this month. Our electric is $100 this month, and our water will be about $37. It's a little less than that, but it does charge me a $2.50 fee to pay online, so I had to factor that in. Our car payment is $106, and our renter's insurance is $27. So going on down here, that is our total right here for our household bills. And then here I have our savings and budgeting, which this is all the money we put into savings as well as take out and put into our cash envelope system. So here I have my personal spending money, which is $80 every 2 weeks, and same for my husband's. And gas is $125 every 2 weeks. We don't use that much, but that is what I have budgeted for us. Savings, I have $100 going into savings with these 2 weeks. For the first part of the month, we have a lot more in household bills than we do at the second part of the month. So the first part is always more bill heavy, and the second part is more savings heavy. So I have $30 for diapers, $20 for my son, $30 for home care and decor, which would be like candles or toilet bowl cleaner, Clorox wipe, things like that. I have $20 for my daughter. I do have a loan through my grandma, so I pay her back $50 every 2 weeks. I have $15 for our pets, and $50 for our Christmas fund, which is that is what we put into our savings account as well. We've talked about opening up another account just to have as a holiday fund, but because Christmas is so close, I think we might do that for next year, but we're not going to worry about it for this year. $30 for our personal care, and $90 every 2 weeks for dining out. The total of that is $720, and then I have a complete total here from all the bills, which is $14.90, and then I have a difference. I almost always have a difference between our income and our complete total, and that is a buffer for our checking account in case we need anything that does not have a particular budget in one of our cash envelopes, or in case anything comes up where we need to use our card. That way we can use it right then instead of having to worry about going to the bank and putting cash in and then using our card. So also, our total cash out, I have this right here for all of my stuff that I take cash out for. So things like our savings and this loan payback and our Christmas fund, I do not take that out in cash. That's an electronic transfer. And so I just like to easily see how much I need to take out here, so I don't have to add it all up every single time I need to go to the bank. It's just easy for me to see here, and I know that's what I need. So the second part of the month down here, which was the last half of October, this shows, let me scroll up here. Okay, so this shows it's the same up top of what it was for the first part of the month, our income and the total, our household bills, and now you can see down here how I do everything after they've been paid. So our cell phone bill was already paid for this month when I did this budget, so I didn't have to factor that in. But all these other bills except this one have already been paid out, so they have a check mark next to them, and then I have the total amount there. And then for our savings and budgeting, I have some for medical, which I only do this once a month because it's just to cover basically my prescription every month, which is $10, and then I do put $20 away for a copay every month, not because we go to the doctor every month, but just so we have it in case we do need to go to the doctor. It's not a surprise visit, and we don't have the money for it, so that's why I budget for that. I have $250 for savings, which I haven't transferred that yet because I'm waiting for my October 30th paycheck, but everything else has been done. There are some things that have come up, like my daughter, she normally gets $20 every 2 weeks for that cash envelope, but she wanted and has been asking for like a school spirit sweatshirt. So that was $45 and change. So I took the $20 out of her fund for that, plus I just took some money in from our buffer from our checking account and used that to pay for her school sweatshirt with our checking account. Everything else has been paid. I never put a check mark next to gas because that's just budgeted. We do use our debit cards for that because that's not something that we overspend in. If we have to go into the gas station and get something, we're using our personal spending money for that, but just buying gas itself, we use the card. So I have the total there, and I have the complete total here from the household bills and the savings and budgeting category. And again, I have the cash out there. And then I have the difference, which as you can see, we had quite a difference this month. But I do have extra expenses, which I add that in at the first half of the month when we have them. I don't factor in any extra expenses because I prefer not to have them, but if we do have them, these are things that are coming directly out of the checking account. So for example, I reloaded my Starbucks card, and this is me and my husband going out for coffee together, and instead of using our cash, I just reloaded it on the through the checking account. And then there's a couple things at Walmart that we had to get that were unplanned, and we didn't really have an envelope for cash that would have paid for anything. These things weren't in a particular category. So we have talked about possibly making a miscellaneous category to cover things like this, but right now we just use our checking account debit card. And then I got a subscription to the Athens newspaper, and so that wasn't a normal household expense. It will be now. So for next month, I will have that in there as a normal expense instead of it being an extra expense, but I just got it. So then I have another total here for that's what should be left over in our checking account. And that again is just a buffer in case anything happens or anything comes up outside of our savings account that we need to use our debit card for. So that is how we do everything and how we budget on the computer, which this works really well for us. My husband is very tech savvy, so he enjoys being able to see something like this in an Excel spreadsheet. He loves Excel. He likes it a lot more than seeing something written down on paper. I also have just here is my goals for 4 weeks at a time, or 1 month. I just kind of list some of my goals out here and try to keep up with them, and they're just right there to remind me, look, I need to keep doing this. This is important and stuff like that. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much. Bye.